I'm bored, so I wanted to make a sketchbook video because why not? I don't decorate my sketchbooks. Usually I just put like a word on it in like white ink and then that's it. That's all. I don't draw anything on the first page because it's weird, especially with like this part being the way it is. But I usually call all of my sketchbooks Mirth. So I started this early August. I hadn't, this isn't finished. I drew myself a bunch of times, or like a persona of myself, and then some Avatar stuff because I just finished watching Avatar and I really love their world. I was watching The Owl House also at the same time. I've never drawn in a sketchbook this big before. Some random things, perspective stuff, I guess. Loose because I love her so much. The top row is drawn in highlighter because why not? It didn't take it too well if you couldn't tell. And then alcohol markers because I had them and I wanted to use them for something at the very least. And then a page with just doodles and stuff and practicing people in different poses, especially with other people. One of my very first OCs. I'm bad at naming people and OCs, so their name is Main because main character, haha, so funny. So just somebody was talking about like layout and how to do backgrounds and how you like do that, so I wrote little notes for it and stuff, so that way, because there's only so much I can retain in a format of somebody else's words. And somebody was talking about like Powerpuff Girls, how like they used to work on it and how it was like easier for them to draw like shoes, automobiles, and I wanted to practice that and see if I could do that. I think I did okay. Some more sketch stuff, and some of the things are lines, some of them weren't. I couldn't really erase them because then it'd get all shiny for some reason. Probably just like they probably spray it down with something, to be honest. Sketches. I like how this one turned out. Something about it just makes me smile, though I wish I could fix their head and face. Everything else though, I just really like their hands, the way they're interacting with the other people. I don't know. I just like it. Some object study, I guess. The Owl House people, you already know. More sketches, some with blue ink that I didn't really like. Again, Avatar, and I want to do more things with people interacting together. Percy Jackson page because it was his birthday. I didn't start reading it until like senior year of high school, like the first series, and Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I like those. Those are my favorites. A little storyboard for an animatic because why not? And then I didn't get to finish. This is Main's room. I wanted to plan it out because I never really had like a set design for it, and I wanted to have a set design for it, so I thought, why not? And again, storyboards, animation thing, I can't draw people kissing. I can't. It was for the song Still Into You by Paramore. Because reasons, plot reasons. It happens, in my mind, it happens towards the end. Because I say so. And also because plot stuff, plot reasons. Wow. Burnt Out by Dodie, redraw of some storyboards I did when I was in my sophomore year. It was a bad day when I first made them. They were all scribbly. Some sketch page. I tried to make an OC, but they looked too much like Percy Jackson, or like the way I drew him, so I was like, that kind of sucks. I didn't really do much with that OC anyways. I kind of just abandoned him after a couple drawings. I don't want to keep flipping it like every which way, so good luck. Sketch page. I was having a bad day. I couldn't figure out how things should be. Composition stuff. Oh, by the way, they are best friends. Please focus. Thank you. They're best friends. I'm gonna do another storyboard, but of them I didn't do it, so there's a blank page. Some more drawings of Maine and other things. I wanted to use more colors because I noticed that I wasn't using color as much, which sucked because that was one of the big things I wanted to do in this. So I did this whole mess of a page. I'm not good at coloring, so that's why it was one of my goals to do that. Damn, this sketchbook is huge. Oh, this is one of Maine's exes. They were better off as friends, and they love each other very much, and they're on good terms. There's like a mini comic of them like breaking up and trying to tell each other, and when they do this, just start laughing. It's all good. especially because he's moving away. It's right before he moves away to the city. That one OC that looked too much like Percy Jackson. I wanted to make a little story with them, but then I decided it was too much, so I didn't actually go through with it, which is kind of sucks. But it's the way things are. I drew this, and I don't know why, but I just really like how it turned out, even though it's like it's super weird. Marinette, it's not a good show, to be honest, and I really needed to leave it, or else it would consume my life for the rest of time, and I didn't want that. So my version of Marinette, that's all there is. My version of Marinette is all there is in my head. I will not draw any other version because I refuse. I refuse canon because canon doesn't make sense. I was gonna make another story, but then I didn't because there was too many characters and I couldn't think of a single design to fit them all. Sketches about this other story I wanted to make. More stuff from that. More stuff. Yeah, I'm bad at flipping pages. Please deal with it. It sounds so mean. Some stuff. I want to draw myself in some outfits because I don't have any good clothes. So I wanted to see what kind of style I like. I still don't know, to be honest. I really like how this one looks. I don't know, something about it is endearing to me. Also this one. Which now reflects how I draw. Because I want to make some webcomics, but I need to have it in a simple style because I don't want to burn out. I read this fic and it made me feel really warm inside, so I decided to draw fan art for it because I loved it so much. I really like how I drew his hair in this one. I actually feel like I got it right. I refuse to ink it because I feel like it would take away from the charm, so I won't do that. More sketches. I just want them to be his friends. There's too much focus on like romance and stuff. I don't think we appreciate our friends enough, at least in media. I'm pretty sure in person you would. But like in media, you don't really see the appreciation for it. It's kind of tossed aside and favored for romance, which I don't really like that, especially because once you stop being friends with somebody that you like knew very well and you love them very much, it just hurts. It hurts a lot. I have these watercolor like brush pens, and this paper didn't take it well, so that's one of the reasons I had to stop using it, to be honest. This wasn't really a good sketchbook. I don't think I'd ever buy it. This was gifted to me by a friend for my birthday. I don't think I'd ever buy it because it kind of sucks and I really like my watercolor brush pens. So there's that. I don't know. They're just doodle pages. I don't really draw like this anymore. I wish I did. It looks kind of nice. But I don't anymore and that makes me sad. But maybe I will. But it takes a lot of effort, so I don't know if that's a thing. More sketches about things because I can't draw big. I really can't. This is the last page. Like, there's like a month difference between the previous page and this page because I stopped using it. But I wanted to test out my new like liners and stuff on it, so I did that and it looks kind of nice, I guess. It's pretty much the last page because I didn't want to finish it. Oh, I also like swatched some of the colors back here for some stuff. Don't ask what this was. It was an attempt at something and it didn't stay, which made me sad. I don't like these markers. They smell bad and I don't like them. And then color stuff I only had these colors at the beginning. I have more now though, which I love. That's the back of it. And that's it.